Hey, good evening, everybody. This is Steve with Real Progressives. Today's been a really tough day for me personally. My father has been sick for a very long time, and he apparently is having a rough go with it right now. And you don't know how long you're going to have people in your life. You don't know how much longer you'll have on this earth. So don't ever take time you have with those you care about for granted. Don't ever take that for granted. And don't ever take for granted that you'll just always have tomorrow available to you to do what you should have done today. I don't know if you all are like me, but I have a horrible habit of looking backwards and trying to understand what I could have done differently. And I try to live life without regrets. I know that's kind of all the rage, but I can't always live life without regrets, and as your parents get older and, mortality starts hitting you. Many of you are already in the Dead Dads Club. I'm not there yet. But it's not real far away. And I don't know, I'm really gripping on that right now, and but it all ties into activism. I'm going to try and pull this all together for you guys to see what I'm talking about. My dad and I did not get along at all when I was growing up. He came from a different era. He was a pretty harsh disciplinarian, and we didn't get along very well. There's a lot of things I know he would have liked to have done differently. And there's a whole hell of a lot of things I would have liked to have done differently too. The good news is my father and I had the opportunity to, before he got sick, to make right a lot of wrongs, to clean a lot of wreckage from the past. And when you're perfectly honest with yourself, you can realize when you've got to clean up your side of the street. And I thought it was a really big man for my father to be able to apologize to me for things that he had done when I was younger. And it was incredibly healing for me to say, "Dad, I forgive you." It's tough stuff, My dad was a very conservative guy, very much a Reagan guy. And he was a tough guy until he got sick. And then when he got sick, something changed in him. He started really having a heart for people, and he took care of my mom's parents before they died. My grandparents, he stayed the night with them every night, watched games with them, did whatever they wanted to do, just made them feel loved right up to their deathbed, And he made being his son something I was proud of for once in my life. I wasn't proud before then, but watching the way he took care of his in-laws, that said a lot to me about the man. And, you look at what's going on in our world right now, and just like a human life or someone that you love, opportunities are there for short periods of time, and then they go. You've got to be ready to strike at the right time, or your opportunity to make change literally vanishes. And I think that getting Obama, even if it's very symbolic, to put the kibosh, temporarily even, on the Dakota Access Pipeline, I think is a tremendous victory for activists such as ourselves who seized the moment. I wish I could have been there, but I'm glad that we could report on it. I'm glad that we could give you guys plenty of information. I'm glad we could be part of that network of people sharing that out. And it proved that our commitment, not just ours, but yours, that we can make change even outside the political system. You know, I still want to believe in voting. I really, really do. But I'm very, very enthused to see so many people putting so much on the line to bring national attention to this pipeline. I'm proud of that. Even though I wasn't there, you should be proud of it too. This neural network of social activists is mobilizing people all over the country. It's a tremendous sense of humility and just a sense of purpose. Seeing people that will send us an inbox to give us information about something, and then we're able to put it up there and watch you guys respond, to do things, to make change. But if you're not there for that, if you're not engaged, if you're not sharing, if you're not awake, you're going to miss your opportunity. And you just never know when you're the person that's supposed to be carrying the message. If you're not there for that moment, the message isn't going to get carried. It's just not. So, you know, I look at the opportunity I had with my father to close the deal and to forgive the man while he was alive, to actually receive that forgiveness from me. Yeah, he came to my 1-year anniversary for AA and told the story of everything he had ever done to a room of about 500 people that were watching me celebrate 1 year's sobriety. This is way back. And he cried like a baby that night. He was so proud that I had gotten 1 year sober, you know? And there was a time where he was telling me I should be in asbestos removal or maybe a trash man or this, that, and the other because, you know, you could get good benefits, right? You were part of a union. You could get better benefits than your brain allowed for. You know, because I was a pretty bad dude, man. I was a waste. I was a drunk. My old roommates cut this beach raft and wrapped it around my mattress to make sure I wasn't leaving puddles in my blackout drunkenness. I mean, that's bad, right? So, to be able to not only have my father see me get sober, but to see him heal his demons and seize the moment that he had before him. Not run off and hide and sulk that he'd have to tell his story. Not run off and hide because he was afraid I would say something bad from our past. He stood there and took it and owned it, and he seized the moment, and a tremendous amount of healing occurred in my life that day. You know, there was many other challenges beyond that, but that was a very, very major thing because my father got sick not too far down the road after that. And to see him transformed into a humble man that wanted to, you know, be loving and sweet and gentle, it was just a tremendous thing. And it all happened because you were present in the moment. You were actually there in the moment. You weren't just going along and riding around, you know, ba. You're in the moment. And that's what we've seen with the activists all the way out there at the pipeline. I mean, these people were dialed in. I mean, the culture that this country got to experience that had been forgotten or never seen by many as a result of digging into, you know, customs and rituals and art and music and just a way of life. This opportunity for activism did more than just stop a pipeline. A lot of people learned an awful lot about our history, and they learned an awful lot about treated land. They learned a lot about what it was like to care for people that were forgotten and overlooked. We did that. We were able to help bring that to the public. We, as in you and me, and all of us that are out here working on social media. This page, just so I'll get an idea. On a given week, this page can get like 2,700 likes. Sometimes it get up to 10,000 likes in a week. It's pretty wild to watch it happen. But even with 80+ thousand people, when you look at the reach, in other words, the number of people that have seen the posts, doesn't mean they liked them, doesn't mean they clicked on it, but that have seen the posts, reaches in upwards of 5 and 6 million a week nowadays. Folks, that's like 24 million people a month that see our posts in some way, shape, or form. I mean, that's amazing. 24 million people. Think about that. I mean, I just sit there and I'm like dumbfounded. I'm like, wow, this is so incredible, so powerful. So don't discount any efforts you might put into this movement. Every little effort, every little thing gets us just that one step closer to where we need to be. I think it's such a wonderful expression of what Real Progressives is, as well as all the other groups out there that are actively striving for progressive values. I think it's just a tremendous testament to the people and their conviction to fight for their homeland and to fight for their families' welfare, their health. I wish that our country felt as strongly about healthcare and research and development and other life-saving activities that we certainly have the finances for, we just choose not to do. I'm wondering if science would have found a cure for supranuclear palsy, progressive supranuclear palsy. It's a terminal illness. There's no treatment really for it that appears like Parkinson's disease, but it's a brain degenerative disorder that you really literally die from. And there's so little known about it, but yet my father has it. And, I think to myself, if we had been this awake before now, if everybody would have been as awake as we are today, would we have more research and development? Would my dad maybe have lived longer than he's going to? I don't know. We'll probably never know that. We just have to seize the moment as it's presented to us. And that's what I think is special about what we do here, folks. It's like one giant system of people working like one body, functioning together in symmetry, making shit happen. And I don't think my dad is going to be as lucky as the pipeline. And I'm going to miss him terribly when it happens. But I did take care of making amends before he moved on. And I consider that to be a big, big win for me personally. Anyway, with that, this is Steve with Real Progressives, hoping you keep fighting the good fight. Have a great night, everybody.